suffering from tight hips or hip pain, it could be due to a lack of flexibility or mobility around the area. Okay, so here's just a few mobility drills that you can do to help loosen up those hips and to take away that hip pain that you may be having. So hip circles. Do about 10 each way, then go the other way. Push your hips forward, push your butt back. Single leg hip openers. 5 one way, then go 5 the other way, and then change sides. Okay, 5 and then 5. Okay, now we need to really work on opening up the hips. So we're going to hop down to the ground. You're going to come into a runner's lunge. Okay, so step 1 foot back, place the hands down. I'll just move over to the side a little bit here. All right, okay, so you really want to work on pushing the heel back. All right, keep that front shoulder close to that inner knee. Okay, so from here you can do some thoracic rotations, okay, which is also going to help with your upper body, open up the thoracic more. Okay, I'm just going to turn around to the front. Now we're going to work on lowering the elbow down to the ground and come up, down, come up. Now this is really going to be a test of how tight your hips really are. Now if you can't get all the way down with the elbow, just take it to where you can. You may only be at the phase where the hand comes down, but that's just where you are at this point in time, okay? So don't force it, take it easy. Do it every day, step by step, little steps, and you'll eventually loosen up. Okay, and then you might be able to go a little bit lower and then lower. Okay, 5 one way, 5 the other way. So you go up, come on down. Okay, 5 and then do 5 on the other leg. Then I want you to drop your back knee. Okay, so from here you're in a hip flexor stretch, but don't just come into it. You want to tuck your tailbone under and push the hip forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch from the hip bone down the front of your thigh. Okay, now I want you to lift up the arms, and it's going to create hip extension here. Okay, hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds and then change sides. Then the last one you want to be able to do is a Buddha squat. So just come on down, keep the feet nice and flat to the ground, push your elbows to your inner knees and open up the knees. So you want to be able to keep the shoulders high, flat back, and your hips low. And just move around a little bit down the bottom there, okay? So you want to make sure that you're not falling into the arcs of your feet and your knees are caving in. So press the weight through the outer edges of your feet and open up. Okay, hold this position for 30 or 60 seconds and then gently come out of it and then come on back down again. All right, nice and slowly, flat feet and open up. All right, so I hope this helps you, and let me know how you go, and just do this every day, like for about 10 or 15 minutes. Take the time to do hip mobility drills, and you'll really find it will help loosen things up. Here is one more stretch for the hips that I missed before. It's called the pigeon pose. Okay, this is quite an advanced movement, so if you're feeling it in the knees, don't do it. I'll give you an alternative as well. So hop down onto the ground, all right, in a downward dog. Now from here I'm going to bring one shin forward, so my shin is flat to the floor. Now your aim here is to slide the back leg back, all right? So you want to be able to keep the hips nice and square, and the lower you can get this hip to the floor, so my right hip, the lower I can get it, the more external hip rotation I've got here. Okay, it's working on your hip abduction. Okay, it's going to help loosen up all your piriformis femoris, which runs from the hip bone right through to the front, all right, and through the rear of your butt as well. Okay, you could just sit here and relax for maybe 5 or 10 seconds if that's all where you're at this point in time. And then eventually, as you do this and progress, you can come a little bit lower. Okay, and then you just hop back up, all right, and change over. Now, you don't want to feel it in the knee whatsoever, okay? You might only be at a point where you come up on your tippy toes, your hip is quite high off the ground here, but that's okay. It takes time. This one takes a long time to be able to release the hips here in this position. Okay, now if you can't do this one, come into a 90-90. Just sit like we do on the floor when we were kids. You want to work on pushing that front knee to the ground, okay? Open everything up and just sit there. And then just change it over. Okay, it's also known as a shin box exercise. Push that front knee down, okay? You don't want to be leaning over to the side when you do the 90-90. You want to be able to remain upright as much as you can. All right, and then do it again. Just switch over. And you can do about 10, 20 reps, okay? If you can't switch over without hands, put your hands behind you and so forth. All right. Once again, you don't want to feel it in the knees.